I'm talking about two fucking badass TV shows, one being The Expanse. Let me tell you how fucking amazing The Expanse is. I just watched season 4. I was a latecomer to this show. It was recommended to me by my friends, other hardcore sci-fi enthusiasts. We all love gushing about anything hard sci-fi, everything that the mainstream fucking thinks is boring, we love. And if you do too, then you will love The Expanse. Honestly, even if you're into the mainstream shit, I still think you would love The Expanse. I think everyone should be watching The Expanse because it's amazing. So, if you don't know what The Expanse is, it is, well, it was a show that was on Sci-Fi. It was on the Sci-Fi channel for 3 seasons, and then it got randomly canceled, unfortunately, which is very unfortunate. But the awesome story behind The Expanse is the fans rose up, got petitions together, signed those petitions, rode into the studio, rode into Jeff Bezos himself, and you were like, bro, pick this goddamn show up because it's fucking badass. I heard a rumor that George R.R. Martin, the writer of Game of Thrones, wrote Jeff Bezos and was like, yo, dude, bruh, pick this goddamn show off the ground because it's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. And I agree with George R.R. Martin. It's quite incredible. And the 4th season, being not the best season, is still amazing. Like, wow. So let's get into The Expanse a little bit. I have written down in my notes, it's a hard sci-fi television show that was once broadcast by Sci-Fi. We already talked about this. Amazon just released its 4th season, December 13th of this year, which I watched it literally a week ago. I binged the entire thing, and we'll be continuing the show with a 5th season at a later down the road. Probably, I'm guessing a year from now. All 4 seasons are available on Amazon Prime right fucking now. So go, if you have Amazon Prime, watch it. If you don't, you should get Amazon Prime, and I will be getting into that a little bit. My last segment of the show. This show is only going to have 3 segments. I'm going to be talking about The Expanse, another Amazon Prime TV original television show, and just I want to talk about Amazon Prime in general at the end. So, the world of The Expanse is based off of a novel series by a man named James S.A. Corey, and the first book being Leviathan Waste. This doesn't have a consistent title. Each book is a different title. I've never read the books personally. I want to ask my one friend who recommended this show to me if he's read any of the books. I hear great things about them, and I hear the 5th one is like fucking incredible, and that's what the 5th season is going to be. I'm pretty sure, so can't fucking wait. So if you don't know The Expanse takes place hundreds of years in our future, where the human race has expanded from Earth. But we still live on Earth. But humans have expanded to Mars and the asteroid belt, and some of the moons around Jupiter, I'm pretty sure. So we follow 3 main factions of human society. We got the Earthers who live on Earth. You know, they're more of the high-class political intrigue type of storylines, very highbrow type of people. And then we got people who live on Mars, or the Martians, who are more industrialists, you know, imperialists. You got some sprinkles of like Spartan and Roman society, early America, like this ambition, manifest destiny type of bullshit there. They're all in one drive, is to terraforming Mars. And that's just what they're about. And their military is very militaristic. Sorry, I can't speak. I'm not good with words. If you didn't know, I studied engineering and not English, so yeah, I can't speak words too well. But getting along with it. I could do a lot of math, and I was doing a lot of sciences, which is utilized to its utmost benefit, if that makes any sense. The Expanse, the way the Expanse uses science to enhance their show and to make their show so much more intense and visceral. It is so cool. So the Expanse, let's get, hold on. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So we got the Martians, and then we have the Belters, which are a society who just live in the asteroid belt, and they mine the asteroids, and they supply the inner planets. These Belters are more of the almost like bottom feeders type of society in the world that we live in. They live in really rough conditions. They live without a government. They, it's almost like it's survival of the fittest. It's like you gotta find, your parents aren't giving you food. You have to find your own fucking food, which is scary. It's just a scary way to live. It's not how any human being should live. Unfortunately, that it exists in this world, but in this show, it exists in the belt. And we have this terrorist organization that's called the OPA. You'll get into more of that. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it follows this show follows these a group of diverse cast of characters. I'm sorry. I got done filming. Star Wars just got me all flustered. But it follows a diverse cast of characters. Something happens on this ice mining ship. It blows up. And some characters think it's the Martians, and this sparks a potential for war between all the factions. So that's kind of where we begin our show, and shit ensues. But like I was talking about before, let's talk about the science a little bit of this show and how it utilizes realistic science to its benefit. I mean, we're talking using gravity boots on ships where we don't have artificial gravity like, Star Trek or at whatever else space movies. They wear gravity boots in 0G at all times. Ships travel backwards in most shots because they're decelerating. They have their engines going and their ships are reversed going because they have to have an opposite force going the opposite way to have them stop or decelerate when they're coming into dock or going into orbit or something like that. It's crazy. When they're doing a high speed jump, they get injections so they can handle the amount of G force that they can withstand without dying, because that's a real thing when you're in space, because the amount of speed that you have to propel yourself to even escape orbit, it's pretty intense. It's a lot of G-force. It's a lot of training that goes involved with it. Astronauts, there's a reason why they're the tippy top of of just the human race. They're just real special. So yeah, the science in the show is incredibly realistic, and it's incredibly cool. I mean, obviously, it's not it's not everything is not the most realistic thing in the world. Obviously, some liberties have to be taken for storytelling, but in general, it's crazy. The showrunner of the show has a PhD in physics and applied physics and electrical engineering, and from Cornell as well, which is. So the showrunner's fucking smart. These smart fucking people are working on this show, and it's fucking incredible. I cannot praise the show enough. I will say the first season is a little bit... It's kind of hard to just tell what the motivations of each characters are. You don't really know anything about these characters. You're okay, James Holden, the main character... you just don't really know why he's, trying to save the world. It's why are you trying to be the good guy here? I don't really understand. I guess that's just, you can find out later, it's pretty much just in his nature. If you've ever played Mass Effect, the BioWare game, between you and me, personally, it's my favorite video game series of all time. Mass Effect 2 is my favorite video game of all time. If you've never played them before, play them. You will not regret it. You won't, I guarantee you. But The Expanse feels extremely like Mass Effect. Big story, a lot of mystery involved. The main character's like him against everyone else. Like, he's just trying to do the right thing. He's trying to save the entire universe, basically, the entire galaxy himself. And there's a very diverse group of there's a very diverse cast of characters, and they're all awesome. They all have their amazing own backstories that you don't really find out in the first season. It's kind of why it's a little bit hard to get attached to them. That's why I kind of wasn't incredibly getting into it in the first season. The first season is very intriguing, and it's very cool. The effects in the show are, by the way, phenomenal. It's incredible. I want to know how much each episode costs. I'm sure I can look that up, but it's amazing. I mean, the show is incredible. The fourth season's really cool. They go to somewhere where they've never been before. It's massive. The scope of the story is incredibly huge. It's worth a watch. Like, watch the first season, see if you like it. If you're kind of on the fence, watch the second. Get into it. You'll get a lot into it a little bit more. I love the second and third seasons. I like the first season, but I love the second and third seasons, and I kind of love the fourth season as well. It's amazing, and you'll fall in love with these characters when you find out a little bit more about them. So just give this, again, pretty much like anything hard sci-fi. You just kind of have to get a little bit of time, you know. Like, even the Star Trek Next Generation, it took them fucking 3 seasons to really get going. So let's, like, give it a little time, you know, little breathing room. Give it a little breathing room. You know, let it live. It's fine, you know. But again, the first season is far from bad. So watch it. Just watch it. It's pretty fucking good.